Sixers fans, how we feeling out there? Hey y'all, my name is Lauren Gordon. Some of you may already know me on social media as Lauren Fan of the Year. Others may have just stumbled upon this podcast, but either way, I want to first thank all of you for tuning in to Season 2, Episode 12 of my very first podcast. I'm just a Sixers fan, the Lauren Fan of the Year story. Now let's continue the story. Y'all, the time is now June in the year 2021. We are in the first round of the playoffs against the Washington Wizards. We had just lost to the Wizards in the road, but we were still leading the 7-game series 3-1. Game 5 is now back home in Philly. Now, remember, in the last episode, I told y'all that Embiid left the game during Game 4. I also said that I was not overly concerned because it was reported as him experiencing knee soreness. It wasn't like it was a knee injury. Well, right before Game 5, it was reported Sixers Joel Embiid out for Game 5 versus the Wizards due to small lateral meniscus tear in knee. No! Damn. I thought about it and I was like, what if this is just strategy? So I told all of my social media friends, there is no way Embiid is missing tonight's game. It's full capacity in front of the home crowd. Embiid loves the big stage and he loves attention. However, I thought if he doesn't play, then this could be a sign that his injury is more serious than they're telling us. Then it just made sense that perhaps we were just resting him for the second round. We were up 3-1 in the series, and there was no reason why we couldn't beat the 8th seed Washington Wizards, even without Embiid. Since Larry and I were separated and I believe divorced at this point, he was still paying for his season ticket holder seat and I paid for mine. What's wild is that while he paid for his seat, he didn't attend any of the games. Well, y'all, this worked out great for my kids. He was fine with paying for his seat to allow our kids to attend more games. So my kids would rotate who would sit in his seat because I was planning on attending every game. Kendall attended Game 5 with me. When we entered the arena, I walked my normal pre-game routine. It was interviewed by both 6ABC and NBC 10. My fan reaction and excitement for Game 5 would appear on both networks. Y'all, let me tell you, Game 5 was incredible. What a game! Playoff basketball is thrilling. Unlike the regular season, every game, every possession matters. The intensity and adrenaline rush is indescribable. I am literally on the edge of my seat the entire game. By the fourth quarter, most of the fans were on their feet. That night, Seth Curry had a career high, a 30-point game. My guy, Ben Simmons, came through with a 19-point, 11 assist, 10 rebound triple-double. And Tobias Harris contributed 28 points. My guys did it. We eliminated the Washington Wizards 129-112 and advanced to the second round. Next up, Trae Young and the 5th seed Atlanta Hawks. Let's go! The Atlanta Hawks had just eliminated the New York Knicks 4-1 in the first round of the 7-game series. Between the two teams, I was actually hoping to play the Knicks, but it didn't matter. I had faith in my guys and was willing to put them up against any team in the league. That confidence was shaken just a bit, only because of my concern with Embiid and his knee. Could he stay healthy and make it through the remainder of the playoffs? I wasn't sure. We just had to take it one game at a time. We're the number one seed. We do have home court advantage. We just need to play our style of basketball. Round 2, Game 1, home at the Wells Fargo Center against the Atlanta Hawks. Y'all, I was thrilled to see Joel Embiid back in the lineup. He ended up with 39 points. That rested him good, y'all. Seth had 21 points. Tobias had 20, and Ben had 17. Matisse Thybulle had 10 points off the bench, but it wasn't enough to take Game 1. Trae Young led the Atlanta Hawks to a 128-124 win on the road with 35 points. And Bogdan Bogdanovic and John Collins each had 21 points. We were now down in the series 0-1. I told all my social media friends, I'm not worried one bit about this loss. Let the Atlanta fans enjoy this moment. They won't beat us 4 games simply because we're the better team. Sixers in 6. June 8th, Round 2, Game 2, home at the Wells Fargo Center against the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young was held to just 21 points. Danilo Gallinari had a big game scoring 21 points, followed by Kevin Huerter with 20 points and Bogdanovic with 14 points. They were no match for our guys who came to play. Joel Embiid had 40 points, 13 rebounds. Tobias had 22 points. Seth had 21 points. And Shake Milton was clutch and came up huge off the bench with 14 points. Sadly, though, y'all, my guy, Ben Simmons, had only 4 points. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As a starter in 35 minutes, and he did have 7 assists. But I'm sorry, I did expect a little more than 4 points from my all-star during the playoffs. I was concerned about Ben and his confidence, but to be honest, y'all, I was just glad we won the game and tied the series 1-1. Joel Embiid had a great regular season, averaging 28.5 points and 10.6 rebounds, and in my opinion, was most deserving to win the NBA League MVP award. I thought it would be a close race between him and Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic, aka the Joker, who averaged 26.4 points and 10.8 rebounds. It was very close stats. And honestly, y'all, I couldn't take anything away from the Joker. He, too, was a highly skilled athletic center who was an all-star franchise player who impacted the game both offensively and defensively and could fill a stat sheet. Now, I know I'm biased, but I was rooting for Joel. Well, it was later announced that Nikola Jokic was unanimously voted league MVP. Joel Embiid only had 1 first-place vote. Nikola Jokic had 91 of the 101 first-place ballots cast. He was the clear winner. I think the difference was Nikola Jokic played 72 games and Joel Embiid only played 51. I always said the best ability is availability. June 11th, Round 2, Game 3, in Atlanta at State Farm Arena against the Atlanta Hawks. Y'all, because this game was on the road, I attended a watch party at Xfinity with a bunch of Sixers fans. The energy was electric, and Embiid was available and led us to a 127-111 victory on the road with 27 points. We now led the 7-game series 2-1. Tobias had 22 points, Ben had 18, and keep in mind, Ben also had the responsibility of defending Trae Young. Trae is a streaky shooter, and I didn't want him going off, getting hot, but somehow Trae Young still ended up with 28 points. Also, during Game 3, our Danny Green left the game early with a calf injury, but Shake Milton and Furkan Korkmaz stepped up big time. On June 14th, it was reported that Joel Embiid was hosting an outdoor party for Game 4 at Sunday Breakfast Rescue Mission for 100 members of the shelter. There would be food trucks, games, and entertainment on site, courtesy of Embiid. It was one of the many things that Joel had done for the community that year. Later that evening, Round 2, Game 4, in Atlanta at State Farm Arena against the Atlanta Hawks, Tobias Harris led Sixers scorers with 20 points. Embiid and Seth each had 17. Ben had 11, and Korkmaz had 10 points. Trae Young put up 25 points, 18 assists, and led the Hawks to a victory with a 3-point win, 103-100. I was a little annoyed because I felt like that was a game we let slip away that could end up biting us later. The series, y'all, was now tied 2-2. June 16th, Round 2, Game 5, back home at the Wells Fargo Center with all of us Sixers fans. I felt the best way to get over a loss is with a win. We just had to win this game. Well, y'all, Joel Embiid had 37 points, 13 rebounds. Seth Curry added 36 points. Sadly, Ben Simmons only had 8 points, and Tobias had 4 points. What made matters worse was, aside from the fact that Embiid and Seth was playing really good basketball, y'all, we lost a 26-point lead that resulted in losing the game 109-106. 3 freaking point loss. Ice Trae went off again and had 39 points. Ben Simmons, who was our best defender, he couldn't even contain him. Us Sixers fans left the game stunned. Atlanta now led the series 3-2, and I was in shock. For the first time, I thought, dear God, we might be in trouble. The following day, June 17th, I posted on social media, I'm sick. I did not sleep at all last night. I'm taking a nap as soon as I'm done my work. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm confused. I'm hurt. But I'm hoping this devastating, historic embarrassment on national television will wake up this team. Our backs are up against the wall tomorrow night. But I'm telling you right now, if we play our game, we'll force a Game 7. If that happens, there is no way we're losing a third game at home. This could be the reality check that we need. We can address our deficiencies in the offseason. I just can't give up on this team. Hashtag Sixers in 7. Hashtag it's not over. Hashtag we still the better team. Hashtag one game at a time. On June 18th, I posted, I'm afraid to watch tonight because I'm so nervous, but my guys need my positive energy. Win, lose, or draw, I'm all in. I've come too far to turn my back on this team. I'm watching this game by myself in case I need to cry. I still love this team. I just can't imagine them letting me down again. June 18th, Round 2, Game 6, on the road in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena. Seth Curry and Tobias Harris led our Sixers with 24 points each. Embiid had 22 points. A young Tyrese Maxey contributed 16 much-needed points off the bench. Watching that game, y'all, I thought I was going to pass out. I was extremely proud of my guys. They played with heart and fought till the final buzzer. We beat the Hawks 104-99 on the road and tied the series 3-3. Ladies and gentlemen, we're forcing a Game 7 in Philly on Father's Day. Do not underestimate this team. I'm riding until the wheels fall off. Game 7 back home. Of course I will be there. Post-game, Crystal Rich gave me a shout-out on Sixers Outsiders. I was locked into 97.5 The Fanatic all day. Fans were calling into the midday show with Anthony Gargano and Andrew Salchunas, telling Chunas to play the song. In the evening, I tuned into Devon Givens. I read every article by Keith Pompey in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I couldn't get enough. I wanted to absorb any and everything I could that was Sixers related. On June 19th, a Tyrese Maxey post was circulating around social media. Quote, I always tell my mom, I always wake up every morning and start thanking the Lord because I get to do what I love every single day. And I get to do it for a living. It's amazing. Every time I step on the court, I won't take it for granted. End quote. I commented, how lucky are we to have this young man on our team? His future is bright. Playoff basketball is wild, y'all. Just a few nights prior, I couldn't sleep after Game 5 because I was so angry with that loss. Now I couldn't sleep because of the adrenaline and excitement after winning Game 6. Sunday, June 20th, Father's Day, Round 2, Game 7, in Philly at the Wells Fargo Center. One of my Facebook friends, Sarita, reached out to buy Larry's seat for Game 7. Of course, my kids wanted to go to the game, but Larry and I both agreed that if we could sell his seat, then why not? I figured since he wasn't attending any of the games, he should at least make some of his money back. Sarita and I became friends over Facebook because of our Sixers connection. I hadn't met her in person until that game. We were both very excited to meet each other and, of course, for this huge Game 7. It was a sold-out game, and we were pumped and feeling optimistic, along with the other Sixers fans at the Wells Fargo Center. All of the fans were given Sixers rally towels that were hung on the back of our seats. Throughout the game, with all of the excitement, I enthusiastically waved my rally towel around like a helicopter, so much, y'all, that I pulled a muscle in my right shoulder. So all I did, y'all, was switch hands, and I just helicoptered my rally towel with my left arm. Ben's inability to shoot the ball was really affecting us. His fear of getting fouled, forcing him to the free throw line, was also negatively impacting us. I wasn't overly concerned with Ben's inability to shoot because we needed Ben's defense. We needed to slow down Trae Young. I thought, just let Ben focus on defense, and hell, everyone else just needs to score. This game had all of the drama and intensity of a Game 7. With 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Embiid made a bucket to tie us at 86. With 3 minutes and 29 seconds left, the Hawks led 86-84. We were battling back and we were only down by 2 points. Ben had the ball. Everyone cleared out as he dribbled, backing into the basket. He was guarded by Gallinari, and Trae Young came over from the weak side. It's a perfect mismatch when you think about it. With Ben's height, weight, skill, and athleticism, Ben had the clear advantage under the basket where he could have easily dunked the ball to tie the game. But instead, he passed the ball to Matisse Thybulle, who was open but probably not expecting the ball, because everyone thought Ben was just going to dunk it. Matisse went to the rim, missed, but got fouled. The fans began to boo, and I began to feel all of the air being sucked out of the arena. I believe Thybulle made one of the 2 free throws, and at that point, we were down by, I think, like 1 point, 88-87. We began to trail the Hawks, and they quickly began increasing their lead. With 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining, we were down 93-89. Ben got fouled, and to his credit, and a lot of people forget about this, he missed the first free throw, but made the second free throw to pull us within 3. The score was 93-90. Fans were beginning to chant, "F. Trae Young! F. Trae Young! F. Trae Young!" The arena sound system increased the music volume to drown out the profanity. I told y'all, I'm all about respecting the players, all of the players, regardless of the uniform. But I totally understood the frustration. Hell, I may have joined in a couple of times. F. Trae Young, F. Trae Young. Then, with a minute left, Embiid passed the ball to Tobias, who made a running layup to bring us within 1 point. The score was now 93-92. We took Ben out the game and replaced him with Thybulle. We couldn't afford Atlanta to use the hack-a-Ben strategy to stop the clock and force him to shoot free throws to give them the advantage, with the game being so close. At this point, every fan was on their feet. I was feeling sick to my stomach. I was feeling lightheaded. I was feeling anxious. I wanted to vomit. But I waved my rally towel with everything that I had, as if the harder I waved my rally towel, the harder we would play. We just had to win this game. Thybulle was also a great defender, so he was on Herter. He ends up fouling him, putting him on the line. The score was 96-92. We were only down by 4 with about 50 seconds left when Embiid lost the ball, another turnover. Gallinari comes down the court and scores. With 17 seconds left, we were down by 7, 103-96. Reality set in. It was over. Our season was over. While I was filled with sadness, other Sixers fans were angry. The announcer came across the PA system asking fans not to throw objects on the court. Sarita and I walked out together, and I couldn't even speak. I had a huge lump in my throat. We got outside, and a reporter from Fox 29 News had a microphone and asked me how I was feeling. With the camera rolling, I responded with, "I'm sick. I'm hurt. You would think with a Game 7 on the line, we'd play with a little bit sense of urgency." I added some other comments, gave my name and where I was from, and then Sarita and I hugged, said goodbye, and we went our separate ways. I quickly walked to my car, got in, buckled my seatbelt, and I could feel the tears fall down my cheeks. I drove home in complete silence. I didn't want to hear fan reaction on Devon Givens' postgame show on 97.5 The Fanatic. I just had to get it out. I began to cry. As a grown-ass woman, y'all, I boo-hooed like a baby. It was a buildup of all of the adrenaline and emotions from the entire season bottled up until that very moment. It all came to an abrupt crashing end. It's over. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And be sure to tune in next weekend as we continue the story.